Chapter 5. The Good Folk. "Everybody knows there's fairies," said the old nurse one night when she was bolder than usual. What she said will put to English, not Scotch as she spoke it. They do, they do not like to be called fairies. So the old rhyme runs. "If you call me imp or elf, I want you to look well to yourself. If you call me a fairy, you'll find me quite contrary. If good neighbor you call me, then good neighbor I will be. But if you call me kindly sprite, I'll be your friend both day and night." So you must always call them good neighbors or good folk when you speak of them. "Did you ever see a fairy, nurse?" asked Randal. "Not myself, but my mother knew a woman. They called her Tippy Dixon, and her husband was a shepherd, and she had a bairn, as bonny a bairn as you ever saw. And one day she went to the well to draw water, and as she was coming back she heard a loud scream in her house. Then her heart leaping, and fast she ran and flew to the cradle, and there was an awful sight. Not her own bairn, but a withered imp with hands like a mole's, and a face like a frog's, and a mouth from ear to ear, and two great staring eyes." "What was it?" asked Jeanie in a trembling voice. "A fairy's bairn that had not thriven," said the nurse. "And when their bairns do not thrive, they just steal honest folks' children and carry them away to their own country." "Where's that?" said Randal. "It's under the ground," said the nurse. "And they have gold and silver and diamonds, and there's a queen of all of them, and that's as beautiful as the day. She has yellow hair down to her feet, and she has blue eyes like the sky on a fine day, and her voice like all the massive springing in spring. And she is dressed in green, and all her court in green, and she rides a white horse with golden bells on the bridle." "Oh, I'd like to go there and see her," said Randal. "I never say that, my bairn. You never know who may hear you. And if you go there, how will you come back again? And what will your mother do, and Jean here, and me that's carried you many a time in the weary arms when you were a babe?" "Can't people come back again?" said Randal. "Some say yes, and some say no. There was Tam Hillslop, that vanished away the day before all the lads and your own father went forth that weary war in Flodden, and the English, for once, by guile, won the day. Well, Tam Hislop, when the news came that all must arm and mount and ride, he could nowhere be found. It was as if the wind had carried him away. I know they sought him, but there was his clothes and his jack, and his sword and his spear, but no Tam Hislop. Well, no man heard of him for 7 whole years, not till last year, and then he came back. Sore tired he looked, aye, and older than he was when lost. I met him by the well, and I was frightened, and said, 'Tam,' I said, 'where have you been all this weary time?' 'I've been with them that I will not speak of,' says he. 'You mean the good folk,' says I. 'Ye have said it,' says he. Then I went up to the house with my heart in my mouth, and I met Simon Grieve. 'Simon,' I says, 'here's Tam Hillsop come home from the good folk. I'll soon send him back to them,' he says. And he takes a great rung and lays out about at Tam's shoulders, and calling him a coward, and loon, and ran away from the fighting. And since then Tam has never been seen about the place. But the laird's man of Gaia knows them that says he was in Perth the last 7 years, and not in Fairyland at all. But it was Fairyland, he told me, and he would not lie to his own mother's half-brother's cousin." Randal did not care much for the story of Tam Hiddleston. A fellow who would let old Simon Grieve beat him could not be worthy of the Fairy Queen. Randal was about 13 now, a tall boy with dark eyes, dark hair, and brown face with red on his cheeks. They had grown up in a country where everything was magical and haunted, where fairy knights rode on the leas after dark and challenged men to battle. Every castle had its tale of the red cap, the sly spirit, or of the woman with the hairy hand. Every old mound was thought to be covered hidden gold, and it was all so lovely. The green hills rolling between river and river, with no men on them, nothing but sheep and grouse and plover. No wonder that Randal lived in a kind of dream. He would lie and watch the long grass till it looked like a forest, and then he thought he could see elves dancing between the green grass stems like they were fairy trees. He kept wishing that he, too, might meet the fairy queen and be taken into that other world where everything was beautiful.